Good morning, everyone. Um, Today we're going to talk about robotics, tying it all together from the AI to the blockchain to robotics and automation. I actually shot about 17 minutes of this and then found out when I went back to review it that I sounded like a robot. So there goes that. But that means that this one's going to be better, okay? We spoke about AI, we spoke about blockchain, and you know, I also look at robotics. Everyone thinks about robots and humanoids, of course, are a big part. But this AI and blockchain are going to be the systems that change how the industry of robots work, along with a number of other technologies. But these three main layers make a difference. And the first two, AI and blockchain, we can get involved right now, get used to using them, add them to what we do existingly, and then as this flow goes forward, we can go right into them. I might mention some things about projects for blockchain. So anything I say isn't financial advice. The last thing you want to do is take financial advice from me. I'm just looking at things and relating to you and see what you think about it. So what's going on is basically the AI and the blockchain will be different layers for the robotics. Robotics is heavily being used now more and more. We see it with companies like Amazon. I read an article last week where there's a company that is offering like a module system that's similar to Amazon, but for Walmart. So we see the trend beginning publicly. I'm sure behind the scenes there's a lot of companies working on this. We're going to see it do nothing but amplify or multiply as we go forward. And that's only one part of the puzzle piece, okay? The robots in the warehouses already at Amazon almost outnumber the human employees. Uh, Robotics or drone delivery is being used in different countries. We see such an emphasis on this technology. The AI will actually be the brain of the robots, all right, whatever they may be. All these devices and everything are speaking with each other. That's how they're collecting data. Both data and energy are going to be very, very important going forward into all this. So if the extra money that you do receive from amplifying your business with AI and blockchain, it would be probably, a pretty smart move to see if you can make that turn into more by getting involved in some of these energy companies, some of these data companies. We see data warehouses getting ready to be built all over the place. It's going to go absolutely crazy as we go forward. These systems are going to make things so efficient and so much different than what we're accustomed to. Not being involved in it is definitely going to put people in a win or lose situation. And even on a small level, just because you're a solo entrepreneur or a solopreneur or however they want to describe it, just because you're a guy or gal doing it yourself doesn't mean that you can't make it more efficient for yourself. That will result in more freedom, all right? More money and more freedom to do what you want. You can take the freedom of time and convert it into more revenue by adding stuff on to what you existingly do. We spoke about the AIs, but you go a step further. After those are customized and you have, familiar with them a bit, then you can start having them do actual real world tasks. You can start building agents, and the agents to agents is where it's going to get really interesting. And that goes right into robots. Robots are going to use these automations for different tasks as they get more and more involved and integrated with our society. The communication is an important factor. I was reading an article the other day about how the vehicles speaking with each other seamlessly, so you have a vehicle that might be a block ahead talking to another vehicle saying, hey, is there any people coming near the corner? It's giving an important data that just seamlessly it's grabbing as it goes. We saw something as simple as the robotic vacuums years ago, and now they're more and more. It's a big industry. I think, was it Apple bought? Pretty sure it was Apple. Sometimes, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Apple or Amazon bought one of the robotic vacuums. It's data. Data is valuable. Your data is valuable because of that. Even though you might not think it is, it really is. And that's one of the things to determine. That's why we're creating this breakage hunter to audit yourself or your company to find out what you might have existing that has value, and then you can focus on that and actually have something that's a digital asset that you might not have known of, that you didn't even consider it of having any value, but it's something you do every day, or information that you're able to collect every day that has value in this industry. What we're trying to do here is create a community where we can get people who are, I know it sounds so generic, but like-minded people that are interested, the in-betweeners, people who might be, like I said, artisans, tradesmen, small business, medium business, real estate investors, manufacturers, people who aren't enterprises or corporations, because it benefits you as well. And the time saved can be used for a multiple of things, and the automations that can be made just now. And there's a lot of different tools. They used to have Zapier was used with, I believe, with APIs, and they would connect things, and you made like a digital automation. Now we have Maker, and you have N8N for people who are non-coders. You can have a developer or a software guy, if they're on your team, develop something. But these no-code programs are getting to a point where you can have the AI agent, just basically you tell it what you need and it creates this automation for you. So that's one of the things we're working on. I'm going to be building or failing in public. I'm going to be making these systems. We have a couple of companies that are going to be used as a pilot, and they're willing to give us a chance to see if we could create some different systems or tools for them that can use these technologies to help them. And if they're successful, if that's being the case, then we'll be able to offer them out and these to those industries, and these people will be able to use them for their business. I mentioned in the video before, just a few hours a week. All right, you start adding that up at the end of the year, you're talking about quite a bit of money and time that you save. So even if it replaces some of the work that some of your employees do. It's not a point of getting rid of your employees. It's now that those employees are freed up to do other things. It's a benefit for you. And these tools aren't that hard to create, and they're getting better every day. We're at the worst we'll possibly be with it. Not meaning the worst outcome of what these tools might do to our society, because there are going to be a lot of dramatic changes. That's why this next 3 to 5 years are critical. They are important. If you want to get involved in this stuff, this is the time to do it. This is the time when everything's growing, different things are being figured out. By you participating, it only is benefiting you. Okay. What's happening with, I'm losing my train of thought because I have a number of things I want to speak to you about. But with the automations and with the robotics, people might think it's on a more corporate or enterprise level, but the automations themselves can help in a great deal of marketing, just organizing your business, getting you focused and efficient to the point where your work is done in ways that it hasn't been. And we can do that by getting the AI more familiar with uh, your your different methods and systems that you do. Now, as these robots come in, things are going to get much more competitive. And we see that these big companies, we know how they'll focus on getting rid of all the small guys. We see already that, them talking about edge nodes. Edge nodes will be run or used for AI agents. And we see that in the blockchain industry. We have different projects that are working on edge nodes, Theta, one in particular. And we saw Musk speak about edge nodes, not speaking about Theta specifically, but referring to how they're going to be important with everything going forward. So these things are running very fast. You want to participate and you want to be able to make a difference. This is the time to do it. If you're worried about it and think you can just ignore it, that's fine too. But let me tell you, it's going to change things. All you have to do is something very simple as, and I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just saying that these things will make a difference, and it's worth looking into. If you're into the doom scrolling or doom porn, look into AGI or ASI. All right, so that's artificial general intelligence. And once that comes, they're saying the probability of that's within 4 to 5 years, and that's realistic. When that comes, these AIs are going to be performing at levels that we're not going to be able to compete with. And at that point, it will be creating or making things without our involvement. And at that point, ASI, which is artificial super intelligent, and that gets extremely concerning when you look at what it can do. The only way to really keep this stuff at bay is to be aware of it and participate. It costs nothing to pay attention, but it could cost you your life by not paying attention. So the little bit can make a major difference in what you do. These automations are going to be incorporated into our businesses. We saw it with the internet. When I was helping out with the internet, people didn't want to believe that they would need email. You're talking about the 90s. People really didn't even have a home computer, let alone a laptop. Forget about the smartphones. No one even, they weren't even around. We were using flip phones coming from pages. So people couldn't see. People are trying to predict the future with this. Some of them might be somewhat right, but we had no idea, even the ones involved in the internet, that you would have a platform like YouTube here where people can actually make a whole business, a very profitable business just streaming and broadcasting themselves. That kind of format, you wouldn't even think that would be possible with what it was. And we were on the edge of a lot of cutting edge technology at the time. It was it's very hard at any rate to be able to tell where everything might go. And we see with this, it's changing a lot of things already. So we're forming that community. We're going to try to get like-minded people. I'm going to make videos showing people the basics on how to use just your regular AI to customize, give it context so it knows about you and your business and can give you results that you can act upon, things that have results for you with what you do. And then from there, as you get more comfortable, familiar, you might want to try out different agents and automations and start increasing that efficiency, all right, so you can grow with it. And as things go on and things start shaping up, then we'll be able to see exactly what the best route is for people. So hopefully this gave you something. My first one was better. I know I can only say that because you didn't get to see it. But I couldn't remember some of the things that I was saying before that I'm saying now. Hopefully I covered it all. I'll do a review. I forgot last time. If you're interested in this, these morning talks will be rambles, just overviews of everything. The rest of the channel will be videos showing you how to use these technologies. Also, I'm setting up a vault on Notion that'll have digital assets, prompts, different context profiles, the basics of what you need and how to do it so you can go and get your hands dirty and figure out how it's done and see if it benefits you. I'm going to be putting all this stuff together. I'll be rolling it out, trying to explain it the best that I can. I will get better as I go. I'm starting to get the hang of these things. All it'll do is get better. I promise you. So if you want to stick around, I'm happy. This is the end of basically the overview, okay, what we're about, the different technologies. Now we'll start digging into it. I sounded like an AI there again. But thanks again. Hope you have a wonderful and great weekend. And we'll see you on the next one. If you have any ideas, throw it down in the comments. If you think I'm a knucklehead, throw that down in the comments too. I think they like whatever it said. They like it. So have a great one. I'll catch you later. Ciao.